We are at the Kumamoto Prefectural Gymnasium here for the very first ever Kumamoto Masters Japan. Second match of the day, round of 16. It's mixed doubles. Chae and Chae of Korea, the fourth seeds, the world champions, up against Rivaldy and Mentari of Indonesia. That's after a superb win for Chen Yifeng against Tomoka Miyazaki. She was definitely pushed. So here in the mixed doubles, this is the path towards the quarters and semis. Got Malaysians and Chinese, a couple of Japanese as well, to keep the home crowd interested. This one, there's either Indonesians or Japanese next. Here they are, the world champs who've just won the Korea Masters. I'm delighted to say, joining me in the commentary position is Olympic bronze medalist, former European Games and Commonwealth Games champion, Chris Langridge. Chris, a very warm welcome to you here in this warm arena.
Thanks very much. I think we've got a very exciting game. It's about to start in the mixed doubles. Got the Koreans who have been incredible over the last 3 or 4 months against the top Indonesian pair, who also have shown signs, over the last 6 months of the level they can play at. So it's going to be a very exciting game.
Having said all that, Hyo and Chae leading by 6. They won all 6 matches. Japan Open was the last. They won pretty comfortably not too long ago. How much does that play into the minds of the Indonesians, having never beaten them?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a factor. I think when you've never beaten your opponent, there's an element of it. But every arena is slightly different. Every situation is slightly different. I think the integral thing is the Indonesians need to learn from the mistakes in the past to try and change what's going to possibly happen today.
Now I'll ask you about the arena in just a short while as we tell you a bit more about these players. We start, of course, with the double world champion, Chae, 26. He's 6 foot tall, playing at his highest ever mixed doubles ranking with Chae Yu-jung. I mentioned he got those 2 world champ medals in both men's and mixed doubles, and mixed doubles as well at the recent Asian Games, bronze there. Chae Yu-jung is a bit older at 28, 163, and together they've obviously won a fair bit now, 6 titles, including the Korea Masters last weekend, the China Open as well. And look at their results so far. Pretty straightforward against Kaneko and Matsutomo. As Chris mentioned there, it's been a fantastic few months for them. The top of their game, looking really good. They might have their work cut out for them. Rivaldy is 24 from Bekasi. He's currently 15th, though they have been higher up at 9th about a year ago. Top 10 pairing back then. World Junior Championships, won gold. Mentari is 24 from the capital Jakarta, just 157. They've won a couple of titles together. The Indonesian Masters back in 2018 and the Spain Masters in 2021. They did finish runners-up at the Malaysia Masters last year. Bit of a tighter match against Lee and Su in the opening round than their opponents had in their opening round match. So what do we make of the conditions then, Chris, here?
I'd say they look quite nice. I wouldn't say anything looks too difficult. It's fairly warm in here, so it's not a slow haul. Although it's fairly large in size, I'd say it's playing pretty true. There's not a major drift that's obvious. There could be a small one on each court, but nothing that's too obvious. And so far the matches I've watched have been of good level, and I think it's a reason why you can't afford to just be passive and lift. Definitely, it's not a big slow haul in that regard. But also, it's not like maybe the hall in Indonesia, the Astora, which is a bit quicker and is integral to get the attack. So it's going to be interesting to see how both pairs kind of deal with the conditions and the situation at the start of the match.
Umpire for this one is Charles Wang from Chinese Taipei. Su Xiaofeng from China is the service judge. So Chae and Xiu come into this as the favoured pair. Their ranking, their recent record, and the head-to-head. Let's see if the Indonesians can cause an upset or so here.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Pita Hanitias, Mentari, and Rinov Rivaldy, Indonesia. And on my left, Tai Yujun and Seo Shongjae, Korea. Pita Hanitias, Mentari to serve to Seo Shongjae. Love all. Play.
First point on the board for the Koreans.
It's over. 1, love.
Rally that one.
Let. Rinov, you should go. No.
Dispute there already, Chris?
Yeah, there's maybe suggesting it was 2 actions on the serve because technically he moved before the serve. But we're just having a let there.
It's over.
Maybe even a little, possibly even a mind game there.
Yeah.
Kind of maybe worked.
Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant shot there. Maybe a fraction of fortune, but incredible. She has got such good touch, Mentari.
Right at Xiu.
3.
Really sharp there on that third.
They've come storming back here. Fine start now for the Indonesians, 4 in a row.
Yeah, Mentari has had a great start to the game. She's been really sharp, really active at the net. And then here, just keeps the pressure on.
Just getting in the way of each other, but you were saying earlier, Chris, about taking the game to your opponent, and the Indonesians have been doing that here.
Definitely, they've had the majority of the attack. They've been doing a lot of the right stuff there. Just slight indecision of whose it was. I think Mentari thought she could get hold of it and accidentally made it very difficult for Rivaldy to play the shot.
You've liked the approach.
Yeah, definitely. For me, the Koreans at the moment, they're too defensive. They have an incredible defense, but they can't survive on that. If the Indonesians are the ones hitting the shuttle in a downward direction, they're the ones with the control of the rally. It's very important that the Koreans try to get the attack. A strange kind of start. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Indonesians, incredible start, but Koreans slightly off.
Are they a bit passive for you?
Definitely, yeah. They're not really taking the game to their opponents at the moment. They're being controlled. The Indonesians are the pair that are controlling the rallies, moving the shuttle around and getting generally the attack. Great shot. And again, and this is the thing,
Lovely.
I do think, you know, everyone knows how good the Koreans are. They are phenomenal. You know, they're world champions. But sometimes I feel they almost allow their opponents into the game. They don't really show their authority at the start of the match. And here, it's not the Indonesians are running away with it.
Right.
8-2 in what feels like blink of an eye.
Right, it's been very quick, hasn't it?
Yeah. 3 minutes gone.
So a 6-point lead.
Silver 3-8.
He did look good in Korea, I have to say. Chae. Just out.
Silver 9.
It's interesting when you look at the nature of their wins against Rivaldy and Mentari. Barring the very first time they played, Chris, it was that went to 3. They've won every other game in straights. It's been so comfortable, and yet today you wouldn't have thought that.
No, with the way the game started, yeah, you wouldn't. I'd say naturally their styles. Possibly it doesn't suit the Indonesians just because the Koreans like to open the court, make the court big, really move their opponents, and they can handle being on the defense a little bit more. But so far, I just don't think the Koreans are quite settled in this first game yet. But that's better there, where see how he exposed his opponent, then he stepped up, and then as soon as he gets the chance, puts the attack in and is comfortable. If you can outmaneuver your opponent in this hall and then get the attack, it is dangerous.
And now putting on a bit of a run here, the Koreans. That was their 3rd in a row. The lead now cut to 3.
The right shot, there was a big gap there, but just tried to almost play too perfect a shot and then gifted his opponent quite a cheap point in the end.
Remember, it was 9-3 not too long ago.
Brilliant attack. The first smash there from Chae, perfect.
Starting to get into their groove, are they?
Yeah. And the big thing is they're getting the attack now. That smash incredibly well placed to set up his partner over there. Brilliant shot. Brilliant. The last 2 shots there from Rivaldy does so well because on his backhand he was in quite a lot of trouble. There, that's an incredible shot.
Yeah.
And then great placement in the end.
Straight at Chae, not much you could do with that. Oh, they are going to challenge that.
It's hard to know if it was in or out. I mean, it was definite fortune for Mentari, but she kind of made it herself. She was in a position where she had her racket up, she was ready. She did catch the frame, so there was a fraction of luck, definitely, but
sometimes this is what you need.
Yep.
It's good.
Incredible shot.
Challenge unsuccessful. One
so
challenge
into the interval we go, and the Indonesians lead by 3, 11-8, after a very, very good start to this first game.
조금 더 완급 조절해서 붙이고 빼고 포지션이 조금 더 앞에 있어야 내가 높아지잖아. 그렇죠? 그래야 공격적인 게 나오는데 자꾸 너무 물러나 있으니까 자꾸 수비적인 플레이가 나올 수가 없어요. 조금 더 가까이 붙어서.
Call 1 second. Call 1
I don't know about your
20
Korean,
seconds.
Chris, but seemed to be a bit of a lecture going on with Chae and Chae.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately my Korean's not so good.
Okay.
But I think it was a case of he's instructing his players. I think they've got to be more proactive. And if on the defence, they've got to be stepping up, trying to take the shuttle earlier. The earlier they take it, the more stress they're going to put on their opponents.
We did see see signs of recovery, didn't we, from the Koreans?
Definitely. They just had a bit of a slow start, and it was quite a deficit.
It does happen, doesn't it? Sometimes you just need a little bit more time to get in the groove.
Yeah, and the integral part is the quicker that you settle, the smoother that part of the game is, and it just took them, a bit too long because they gave away a fairly large lead, but they're right back in it now, and it's kind of point for point. I do think a lot of the recent phenomenal performances have been down to Chae. The amount she's improved over the last kind of 3 or 4 months is amazing. Before then, I always felt she was a little bit up and down. She had quite a few. It's a brilliant shot. The placement, stepping in, holding it, taking it early, and then just punching where the gap was. But with Chae, I think she had quite a few injury issues over the last 2-3 years, and I think it's nice now to see her in consecutive tournaments where, fingers crossed, she stays, in fit, and she's improving so much, and she's playing so well at the moment. Just so I say that, I mean, typical commentator's curse.
Right there.
Every time I say something nice about a player, it seems I'm going to kiss a death.
It was going so well, that rally. Second round matches these two have played together. Seo and Chae, they've won 35 of them. Good last at 6.
It's good there from Seo, just keeping the, let's say, the flat game, the 50-50 situation. He could have gone out and earlier on, but that's good control there. Earlier on, I think in the match, he did go out and he was almost giving away the lift too easily. It's a great serve.
Wonderful serve, that one. Is that possibly going up?
I think it was, yeah. From the angle we're at, it looked like it was.
It's got to be Rivaldy and Mentari. I know they're keeping pace at the moment, but they had a 7-point lead earlier. It's completely wiped out.
Yeah. And it's for me, the Koreans have changed what they've done. Like so he's been a lot more aggressive.
That was not necessarily happening earlier, was it?
Not at all. I mean, earlier on in the match, he lifted off the return of serve, which is quite unique to see a male player do in mixed doubles.
It's been an 8-point shift here. It just seems much more fast and frenetic now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more competitive game. Both pairs are playing well. I think that last one there, it was just about out of the reach of Mentari, but because it was rising, it would be quite easy for Rivaldy to get on that. And just maybe slightly the wrong choice there for Mentari. She should have let it go to her partner.
Low down there.
Yeah, far too low to try that shot, and he knows that. In that situation, you only have one option, which is to lift. When it's that low, I mean, you can try something absolutely phenomenal like he tried, but it's going to work 1 out of 20 times. Even a player as good as Seo, you saw how far off he was making that shot. Great block. Yeah, and it was the block that set everything up. And I think Seo there, great placement on the attack because he's gone all, but that's an incredible block. And how late Mentari has to take that, and then the placement, it's gone across her. She's just slightly got her body position wrong there, and very well spotted by Seo. But it was the block from Chae that set up the point.
Lead of 2 now for Seo and Chae. Looking good. can see now real aggression coming through from the Koreans.
But again here, if we look where the gap is on the inside tram, and it's very well placed. Not quite far enough across Rivaldy to cover that. Chae spotted it well, and he's hit a big smash in a perfect place, and it's so hard to get back. It's a very, very different pair than we saw at the start of the match from the Koreans.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much more. There's more movement, there's more aggression. They're trying to take the shuttle early, being a lot more proactive.
It's a sea change here for the Koreans, who lead by 4 in a very good position now. And they finish things off here.
It's over.
Having said all that,
15,
we're
18.
going to do that. Well, they don't have a particularly good record in second rounds, Rivaldy and Mentari. Just 25 wins and 48 on the World Tour, and they don't do something. It might be another loss here. They are trailing by 4.
I think a point like that is so important for the Koreans, just because for the Indonesians, they were getting through quite comfortably at the beginning of the match, and now big difference. Koreans are a lot more active in their defense, moving the shuttle around better, being a lot more consistent and solid in their defense, and it sends that message to the Indonesians. Wow. And this is what I mean. I know earlier on I made a comment, and then unfortunately she didn't play such a good rally. But
this time you can.
yeah, I mean, that was just brilliant. The way that she's hitting a shot covering, she's covering where the obvious shot's going, and she reads it perfectly and then finishes off the rally.
5 game points here for Chae and Chae. Very quick time as well.
It's over.
I think it's the right shot there from Chae. He's got it. He's above tape. He's in a good position, so he can afford to put the pace in. Just maybe snatched a fraction and just misses it.
Well, after a very slow start and trailing by 7, Chae and Chae have had a huge swing of points and ended up winning this actually pretty comfortably, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, they got the attack the majority of the game. Obviously, at the start they didn't, and they did have a very slow start, but after that they went up probably 2 or 3 gears, and their class was very evident.
Chae and Chae take the first game then, 21-16.
이렇게 하면서도 빨리 쳐야 되고 또 붙여야 되고 빼야 되고 순간순간 판단해서, 그리고 예측해서 노릴 수 있는 상황들을 중간 플레이어 후에서 공격적으로 할 수 있지만 중간에서는 내가 처음부터 빨리 갈 수 있는 걸 노리고 있다 감정을 빨리 플레이를 좀 해주라고. 그런 식으로 집중하고 플레이에서 붙일 건지 뺄 건지 수비했을 때 자꾸 조금 더 자세를 잡고 모든이 빠진 상황에서 자신 있게 할 거다. 자신 있게 들어가 못 치는 상대방.
What do you need to see a bit more from Rivaldy and Mentari?
20 seconds.
Well, the integral thing is they have to have a good start to the second game, because the Koreans now are playing their normal game. They feel comfortable, they're in their rhythm, so it's so important that the Indonesians can try to unsettle them. They have to be getting the attack, and when they do, I just want a bit more variation from their attack. That would have been incredible if she pulled that off, and that's where the gap was, but that's it's a very complicated shot to play that when you're moving at full speed, the cross-court turn there. I also think the Indonesians, it's integral. There's a little bit more variation on the serves, because I feel like Chae now, he's reading the serve and he's on it very early. He's putting a lot of pressure on the return of serve. It's a great block, and it was the block from Chae, because in that position it's very hard to, I mean, the quality of his block was incredible there. How tight that is, and Rivaldy has played the wrong shot, but he kind of doesn't have an option, because if he lifts, he's in trouble, so he's trying to hold the net.
Well, the Koreans are very good record against Indonesian mixed doubles pairs overall, especially in the second round. They've only ever lost once in 8. That was to the very accomplished pair of Tontowi Ahmad and Liliana Natsir.
Brilliant.
Nicely done.
And this is the thing, it's so important. Now that the Koreans are defending very well, and as soon as they get the chance, they're hitting a block and totally changing the rally and getting the attack. The Indonesians, for me, especially Rivaldy, he's got to have more variation in his attack. He's got a good smash, but I wouldn't say he's got an absolutely phenomenal smash that he can just simply smash to win the point. He's got to have variation. He's got to move his opponent. He's got to drop, slice, a bit more on his placement of his attack as well. Again,
Lovely
Chae,
play.
she's read it so well, intercepted, the perfect shot.
2.
I think she definitely had a slow start, but probably after around the 9-point mark, she's shown just how good she has been over the last 3 or 4 months.
Much to the delight of the coach, who is pretty clear how he felt about things in the interval of the first game, and since then they haven't really looked back. Oh, great shot.
Service over.
Rivaldy.
3, 4.
Yeah, Rivaldy stepped in really well there, took it early. Good placement. I think Chae could have been a little bit further covering her forehand in that situation. She was a little bit too stuck on the tee.
Well, the Indonesians.
But it was the variation on the serve. It's the flick. And then Chae's off balance, and then it puts them in trouble. And this is integral. They need more variation on the serve, the Indonesians, just like that.
Yeah, he was just stretched, wasn't he?
But again, brilliant from Chae. She's
5.
stepping up, taking the shuttle on, there, making a move, read it, and then puts the pressure on. It's so important being the net player that you make a move. You hit a shot, you try and predict where it's going.
Back in front here, the Koreans. That's just out.
But it's better there from the Koreans, stepping in to give their opponents less time, and then some variation, going over, going in front, and then good placement on the final attack.
Just out. Oh, he looks frustrated, Rivaldy.
6, 5.
Much tighter start to the second game than the first. one of the longer points that we've had so far. Ends in a Korean point.
Yeah, it's a good rally. And the thing I like there, Chae, again, whenever the Indonesians are fractionally off balance, she's chasing forward. Even though she's on the defense, she knows that her job is to step forward, take the shuttle early, put a block in, put a soft shot in to get the attack for her partner.
That was our longest rally at 44 shots. These points have come very, very fast today.
Better though there from Rivaldy, just because there's some variation. It was the big cross-court slice, which kind of unsettled the Korean pair slightly, this one here. And then, because they're unsettled, then it's easier because they're slightly off balance. They don't fully know what they're covering. And this is what I mean about his attack. He's got a good attack, but if he's too simplistic, the Koreans have such a solid defense. As long as he's got some variation in his attack, he's going to be so much more effective, just like that. But again, there, Sio's read the serve. He's on it so early.
Took it quick, wasn't it? Nice and aggressive.
But this is the thing about it, he doesn't have to flick every time. Right. He's got to have more variation when he's serving too. He's got to serve out wide. He's got to serve maybe short the line. He's got to serve quicker. Maybe serve slower. Maybe a drive serve. Because at the moment, Sio's reading exactly what serve he's doing and where.
Three-point lead now for the Koreans.
And that one, for me, Mentari, she's got to take the risk. So Sio's slightly stretched. And as soon as her opponent's slightly stretched, she's got to chase forward to take that shot early because she knows the Koreans aren't really going to go over, and it's integral that the Indonesians try to get the attack.
Getting it over there, Chae. Pull one back here, the Indonesians.
7-9.
Yeah, you can see Chae there. She didn't quite move into the shuttle. And even after the rally, I could saw her sort of demonstrating that she just needs to make a very small movement towards the shuttle. You've got to move in the direction you want the shuttle to go. If you want it to go forward, you need to make some kind of movement forward. She kind of moved anything backwards.
Narrowing that deficit. Closing down here, the Indonesians trail by 1 now.
It's a good shot from Mentari. Just goes over where the gap is, puts into the gap, makes the Koreans move, and then Sio's in a bit of trouble on his backhand.
By wanting things to move a little faster. And that falls short.
10-8.
That would be hugely frustrating.
Great shot, phenomenal shot. She almost sent both players the wrong way.
Yeah. Nowhere near it. Hesitation.
Lovely bit of deception. Just held the shuttle for a fraction longer, almost waited to see where her opponents moved and then just put it into the gap.
Different feel to this second game. Nicely done.
But that's such a good rally from the Koreans because they basically soaked up the Indonesians and they were very calm, very kind of relaxed in their defense and moved the shuttle around so well. And then as soon as they get the attack, devastating. So sharp at the net, Chae.
So at the interval of the second game, Sio and Chae lead 11-9, having already won the first. good position here
한 번 늦어지면
in this
너무
match.
늦어지게 가고 조금 더 스피드하면 조금 더 스피드하니까 이제 그 차이가 너무 크니까 조금 더 상대가 생각하는 플레이보다 좀 그 플레이가 좀 엇박자가 나올 수 있으니까 그 플레이를 조금만 더 스피드하게 컨트롤 해주고 그리고 중간에 붙여주는 중간에 빼고 맞을 때 중간에 붙여서
Hold on, 20 seconds. Hold on, 20 seconds.
Mentioned earlier that 5 of the 6 times they played, the last 5, Chae and Chae have beaten Rivaldy and Mentari in straight games. They're leading here by 2. Could be number 6 in a row.
Great return. Just caught the tape and then the shell basically just died straight down.
It's over. 12.
And almost just as brilliant from Chae back. 2 neck cords in a row.
Gladly take that. Very quick points post-interval.
11.
I think that's one of the first simple errors we've seen from Chae in the second game.
And we're all square here.
12. All.
So yeah, it's good pressure here. It's a good smash and then well placed, slightly higher the backhand kill. Very sharp there.
It's over. 13. 12.
This is one thing confidence does bring as a net player. You're so much more active, you're willing to cut more out, you're willing to take a few more calculated risks. Brilliant.
Oh, delightful from Chae.
Koreans are in all sorts of trouble in that rally.
Yeah.
Somehow they managed to get themselves out. See a fantastic defense. And Chae there steps in, takes it early. It's the integral part. The earlier you take the shuttle, generally the later your opponents have to take it. It means you have control of that section of the rally.
Well, that hit the net cord right at the start, but this time it didn't die.
12.
Well, they kept alive. The lead now up to 3.
Court 3, mixed doubles. Chae Yamashita, Nabu Shimoya, Japan.
Nicely left. And, oh, wow.
Badminton challenges.
He wants it all the way, Chae. And that was ruled in, so the Koreans challenging. What did you think of that one?
I think it's so close. Just thankful we have.
We're not the ones voted.
Yeah.
We watched it. Oh, that is out.
Correction out.
Yeah, he would have been really annoyed with himself, Chae.
16. 12.
Had that been in, but
Play.
they now are looking good here with a lead of 4. The Koreans.
It's over.
And then that happens.
13. 16.
Brilliant, but that's the attack we haven't seen. Because there, it was a great rally, but then before that, you get to see it here. It's a bit of a short lift, but the placement, there's a big gap there. And it's we've seen moments of it. Rivaldy's got it in his, you know, he's got the capability to do it, but sometimes I think with his attack he almost goes just a bit too simplistic. Fantastic placement on that attack.
To chase down that title and lead. You could just feel the pace of that
15,
rally.
16.
There's only 1 point in it now. Good stuff from the Indonesians, 2 in a row. Trying to apply the pressure on. Just relieve it there, Seo and Chae. Just as the Indonesians were bearing down on them.
Just good pressure from Seo at the net. Hit, ready for the next one, and just keep the pressure on your opponent. So good around his body. If you're putting pressure on his body, he's so good at just deflecting the shuttle away and just making the gap appear. Like there, that's fantastic control. And from there, he's taking that so late.
How low was that?
Yeah, and he set himself up.
Just as it looked like the Indonesians were really gaining on the Koreans. So we'll try it back up by 3.
Correct decision if you're calm, and you can see how calm Chae was. If you're too tense, if you're too stressed in that situation, you'll snatch at it, and you won't be calm enough to leave it.
Straight at Chae, not much you could do. Pace that game of that.
Yeah, it's the wrong sort of lift there. Fantastic attack, great placement, and it's impossible for Chae to get that.
Play.
Now never time really for Rivaldy and Mentari. There, so
17, 19.
A late charge perhaps from the Indonesians. Only a point in it now.
18, 19.
They were looking good, weren't they, Seo and Chae?
I do think this serve and return of serve are going to be quite integral for the rally, because the Koreans have got the attack the last 2 rallies straight off the start of the rally. Rivaldy's got a good serve, but it's just been a little bit readable, especially for Seo. So it's going to be interesting to see how the first 3 shots of the rally pan out.
Make it over. And Rivaldy and Mentari have drawn level.
Yeah, and we haven't really seen, well, we saw it at the very start of the match where the Koreans just made a few comfortable unforced errors. And I'd say the last 2 rallies, both of them have made 2, I would call it, cheap mistakes.
Yeah. 4 in a row here for Rivaldy and Mentari. A crucial time.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh, it's gone over.
Has it made it?
It's gone over, yeah.
Game point, 19.
I think Chae stopped because she thought it hit the floor. But you know, the most, you never stop until you hear the umpire call, and he didn't call. Even if you think the umpires made the wrong decision. That was an incredible shot.
Oh,
I mean,
she's right, I think.
And I don't think it hit the floor, but...
But whatever it is, she should be playing it.
100%. I think he possibly did scoop it, which isn't allowed. But I don't think it hit the floor. But the integral part is she's world champion. You know, she knows that you carry on the rally until clearly the umpire calls, and there was no call. And that is a gift that they've given to the Indonesians.
But fantastic to get there anyway, wasn't it?
I mean, yeah, he did incredible because that was such a good shot from Chae.
Wow. Bit of a talking point just towards the end of this second game. We have a game point here for Rivaldy and Mentari. They're on the brink of only winning their second ever game.
It's over.
And that's a very cheap way to give the Koreans a point there.
So we now need a winner by 2 clear points.
Great pressure from Rivaldy.
21.
As soon as he knows that in that situation Sio's unlikely to go out, and if he does, his partner has to cover, so he kept the pressure on and kept his base quite high.
Another game point here for the Indonesians. They still can't get there.
21. All.
Saved 2 so far, Seo and Chae. Brilliant from Seo. Power from Rivaldy.
Yeah, and it's good placement on that attack because, say, Chae's come out very much so on her forehand, and he's hit slightly across. He's hit her right shoulder, which is enough to make it very difficult for her.
Third game point. Remember that Seo and Chae were in an excellent position. They've only won 2 of the last 9 points, Seo and Chae.
It was the wrong shot from Mentari, but she set Seo up on his forehand, but he's hit that so hard. Yeah. He's read it, and it's the perfect shot because it's short, it's still rising, it's exactly what he wants, but he's caught that so clean, he's hit that so crisp.
Thank you.
Mentari's got to punch it more into the corner. It's got to be wider and deeper.
That's a third game point saved by Seo and Chae. They want to be taking the front foot here. They'll take the initiative back. And they finally have their first match point.
22.
It's a great cut out by Chae. The return of serve is a bit too simplistic. It's at them. It's slightly going upwards, but it's an incredible cut out by Chae.
The Koreans finish it off. Boy, were they pushed towards the end of that second game. A moment of contention perhaps as well. But they continue their superb, perfect record against this Indonesian pairing. That's now 7 matches out of 7 that they've won. And they really were up against it for a little while. 3 game points they saved. It would have only been the second game they'd ever won the Indonesians had they taken it and forced a third. But it wasn't to be. And the world champs march on. A bit of a mixed bag for them at times. But Seo Seung-jae and Chae Yu-jung, the Koreans here, the fourth seeds, they've beaten the Indonesian pairing of Rivaldy and Peter Hanningtias Mentari 21-16, 24-22. They've done it in 44 minutes.